Okay, good, Connor. What was happening with Connor was that he was dropping his lead shoulder inside of the circle. This is going to be most predominant on your stick hand, and a lot of times it's because the hand is too far down the shaft. If I'm a left shot and I'm skating on my left side, because my hand is down the shaft, it's a natural tendency for me to want to lean into the circle. So I have a curve in my body. It's almost like my rib cage is being pulled away from the circle. We want to put ourselves into a position where instead of leaning into the circle, we want to lift that rib cage and push the hip against the curve of the circle. And you can do this without even changing your hands. If my hands are in the proper place on my stick, I lift my shoulder, push my rib cage, and push my hip against the curve of the circle. I can still rotate, and now I'm solid over my skate instead of falling in and having my skate move away from me. In this particular position, as my lead shoulder drops, my opposite hip lifts. And as it lifts, it's pulling my edge into the opposite direction versus it wanting to go and follow the curve of the circle. Another thing that you want to be focusing on is where the placement of the blade is. If the player is working with a slow crossover, have them gliding on the back half of the blade before they actually go through the push. This allows them to have maximum pressure into the ice so the blade isn't going to slip underneath them. If I'm riding the back half of the skate, my edge is biting into the ice. If I'm taking the same edge and I get up on the front of the skate, my heel can pivot out underneath me. Now with more advanced players, the crossovers are going to be quicker. So the weight is actually going to be on the balls of the feet. And in that case, when the edges start to slip, you have to take a look at the placement of the hip base. If the hips are turned in, working with quick crossovers, the feet are going to hit at an angle to the edge that they're skating. So you want to make sure that their hips are facing straight. This drill is designed to teach players about getting the lean against the curve.